Hey, what's going on, Internet? It's Khalif here, and this is Synergy Source, my blogging project where I talk about philosophy, spirituality, things of that sort. I've been making these quote pictures and posting them on Instagram with some short analysis for about 2 years now, and I'm getting kind of bored of it. So I'm starting to make these videos to shake things up and make some more engaging content. To start off with, I've been going over my quotes from a year ago to the day and revisiting the discussion, seeing if anything's changed, seeing how I still feel about it. So we're going to keep going with that. Today's quote, I posted on my Instagram January 4th, 2021. And let's go ahead and get into the discussion. Now we're done with all that intro stuff. So today we've got the quote: the least movement is of importance to all nature. The entire ocean is affected by a pebble. And that's by Blaise Pascal. As with all of these quotes, I don't know exactly who that dude is. I should probably know about that. I wonder, is that Pascal like Pascal's wager? I don't know about that. I'll have to look that one up. But anyways, I love this quote. This one really, I think the word they use is resonates with me. I vibe with it. I love it. It reminds me of a few things from the Tao Te Ching, which I first read when I was in high school. I think, yeah, I was in high school when I first read that. And it, just like this quote itself and a lot of the stuff that's in the Tao Te Ching they sum up some of they're part of the principles that underlying principles of my worldview, how I look at everything, how I try to do everything, how I try to treat everybody, how I try to, did I say think about everything? But this quote, it really sums up something that I've always thought, that I've had to argue with some people about the fact that everything is truly interconnected, in that things aren't necessarily always directly have a direct line of causation to certain things, but everything does have a small impact on something, and that if things were slightly different, things are slightly different in other places, sort of like a butterfly effect sort of thing, or just how the imagery in the quote puts it, like the ripples in the ocean. We're all, I think, what's the quote? As the ocean waves, the universe peoples. We're all part of interconnected system, and we are expressions of that system, and if conditions change, we change as a part of the system changing. I'm getting a little off the rails here. I wrote these notes to keep me bogged down. So what did I say? Learned about Taoism in high school. I've always been cognizant of the interconnectedness of life. One person's actions affect others in indirect ways. Walking down the street example. Sorry, hit the mic. So the example I always use when I try to talk to people about how the way one person treats another person has an indirect effect on another person is just a simple example of walking down the street. So say I'm walking down the street and I see a person and I give them a nod and a smile, and not necessarily ask them how their day is going to be, just try to give them a little bit of nonverbal communication, letting them know that it's like, hey, how's it going, dude? We're both in it together. What's up? Hope you're doing all right. And this guy gives me back a stink face, like some New Yorker, like doesn't have time for any of that shit. Like, his bumps my shoulder, gives me like a grunt. And it's just like, whatever, dude, like, fuck you. Just like storms off in a huff. I'm over here, I'm like, damn, dude, I'm just over here trying to be nice to you. Next person that walks down the street, I'm not going to be so nice to them. I'm not going to give them that nod. I'm not even going to make eye contact with them anymore. And who knows what's going on in the first person's day, and Lord knows what's going on in the second person's day. The second person might come through and is like, wow, everybody around here is so mean. This city sucks. I was having the worst day. I was like, I can't even walk by people on the street and people give me the time of day, didn't even look me in the eye. It's like, wow, this world's terrible. So that first person's day affected my day, and now I'm affecting the third person's day. Who knows if that person goes into work, their mood is dampened, they don't feel like engaging with their coworkers, they don't feel like having any, in-depth emotional discussions with people for the rest of the day because they're peeved off. Just things like that. There's so many ways that we affect each other, and how we affect each other affects how we affect each other. You know what I'm saying? It's a web. There's ripples in the ocean. So while I'll never say that if I were to walk down the street and somebody were to, give me the stink face or whatever, that doesn't justify me going into my workplace, shooting up the place. Of course not. Never, dude. That person's not responsible for that. You're always responsible for your own actions. You're responsible for how you react to things. But I've always been of the mindset, tried to argue to people that just because it's not your fault or responsibility, or you didn't cause anything, it's dishonest, disingenuous, and ignorant to say that we have no effect, have no impact on one another. Whenever people, you see this on the internet all the time, it's like, why do I care about what this person's feelings? I don't know this person. They don't have any effect on my life. I don't care. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because when everybody goes about the world, or everybody goes about their day in such a way that they feel like nobody cares about them, so they're gonna operate in a way that they don't care about others, it kills whatever possibility there is for the people to start caring about one another. It's like you'd have to be you have to always be a conscious objector to that mentality in order for anything to move forward, which in life it always feels like that's kind of a losing battle when you look at the news, and it always seems like the cheaters and the bad people are winning. But I just think I think it's kind of just how life works out. This is part of why I'm making some things like I'm making over on This Place Is Weird, making stuff on Synergy Source. Just everything I'm doing with Love Each Other Media in general is to try to counteract the negativity and media cycles, and when you scroll through doom scrolling and stuff like that. It's not necessarily enough stuff out there that goes against the grain. But yeah, so this quote definitely resonates with me on that end, because I've had that argument with a lot of people. It's like I've tried to convince a lot of people that you don't have to always take offense to someone. You don't always have to try to prove points. You don't always have to, I don't know. I'm starting to ramble a little bit. It's a little bit warm in my place of residence right now. My mind is all over the place. I can't think. But anyways, so I think I got through most of my notes for today. And let me see. Yeah, we're not responsible for each other, but it's dishonest and ignorant to say that we have no impact or effect on one another. And the more cognizant each person is of the indirect effects that they have on each other, the better we're all for it. I've always thought that way. Well, I mean, I guess I haven't always thought that way, but I've definitely always thought that way since reading up on Taoism. And I just, I feel like that's one of the best ways to put your best foot forward in life, is to always, you end up making a lot of good friends and making a lot of good impressions on people when you put that extra effort into not being careless with your speech, with not being careless about how other people's days are going, with affording people a little more patience and compassion when they're having a bad day, and recognizing that their bad day isn't your fault, but that you can have a positive impact on it, and you can try to turn it around. When they're rude to you because of their bad day, it doesn't have anything to do with you, so you don't have to take it as like a personal indictment on yourself or anything of that sort. And yeah, but alright, continue to ramble, or I would just continue to ramble after this point. I think that's all I'd like to say. Yeah, alrighty, thank you all for listening, and yeah, take care.